Good afternoon, everyone. This is the Lake County Regional History Center's Outreach Plan for 2026. Our mission here at the History Center is to serve as the gateway for the community to explore the region's history through engagement, education, and inspiration by preserving and sharing the region's past. And this was the guiding principle we followed when we created our outreach plan for the following year. In this presentation, first you'll meet your team. Then we'll discuss our social media outreach strategies, our education outreach strategies, our community outreach events, and then finally, our budget overview. So let's go ahead and meet our team. I'm Shane, I'm the outreach coordinator. Next we have Sarah, who is our outreach specialist and our social media guru. And next is Josh, our outreach intern. Social media strategies. After reviewing not only our history of posts, but other similar history centers, I think we've had some misses. Inconsistent and uninteresting posts are death to a social media presence. Posts need to be interesting, relevant, sometimes funny, but always engaging. The posts would be the same across both platforms, since Facebook and Instagram are owned by Meta. It's easy to sync both accounts. And our content will be posted every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday. According to Sprout Social, the charts on the screen show the best times to post. To maximize visibility across both platforms, we would post on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays between 9 a.m. and 11 a.m. Content ideas include National Heritage Months, local trailblazers and icons, upcoming events, staff pics, behind the scenes, and photos of events. It's the quality of our posts that's the most important factor for all algorithms and our brand image. I have seen some posts out there that are quite boring and not engaging. Not every post needs to be deep and meaningful, but it needs to be engaging. YouTube. Creating a YouTube channel would give our community members a chance to be part of events even if they can't be there in person. Having access to these would help with inclusion with all members of our community, especially those with disabilities. It would grant them access to events, access to workshops, access to our oral history project, and access all around. Education outreach strategies. The topics here are foundational activities that are ingrained in our everyday work. Online exhibits allow access to our online collections. Physical exhibits allow access to our physical holdings. Field trips allow access to how we do it. Lessons plans allow access to knowledge. And workshops allow access to preservation tips. Our exhibits would introduce community members to what's available in our collections. They're meant to inspire members to learn more about the region they live in. Our online exhibits will allow access to many, including community members who no longer live in the area. The cost is merely time. Our physical exhibits would offer multi-sensory experience, and they would also have an online version. The cost for exhibition materials like sleeves, holders, and printed materials would not exceed $75. These exhibits would change every 2 months as security and conservation are of importance. Exhibit ideas will be relevant to the community. Collection focuses, staff picks, a balanced representation of history, the good, the bad, and the ugly, because history isn't always pleasant to study, so it's important to balance that out, and offer multiple perspectives, as we're not the only ones living in this community. Field trips, access to what we have and how we do it. This offers students a chance to see historical items in person. It's an immersive experience, exposure to what it takes to preserve historical items, and offers the students a chance to think critically about what gets saved and what doesn't, and their role in the preservation of their own story. The charge would be $8 per student, 1 free chaperone for 10 students, $8 per additional chaperone. Educators are free. Our lesson plans follow state and federal standards. They're written to be relevant to the area, they tie into our collections, and they give students the chance to think critically. All of these are available on our website. Throughout the year, we'll offer various workshops in preservation and conservation, digitization techniques, and research techniques. These workshops are designed more for professional development, but anyone can attend. This is a way for us to get more income. There will be community events based on these classes that will be discussed later in the presentation. Community outreach, programs to inspire. This is the heart and soul of why we do what we do. The people who volunteer for us are the heart and soul of our community. This program is the backbone on which we function. It's because of them we can do the events that we host. They are the lifeline between our center and our community. If we trust in them, they will have trust in us and our joint mission of community preservation. Volunteer tasks include scanning, transcribing, data input, assistance with events, and community liaisons. The volunteer program is open to anyone who wishes to join. All they need to do is fill out a simple application and a short interview, mainly to gauge skill set. In this next section, we'll discuss our recurring monthly programs, our National Heritage Month talks, our Genealogy Symposium, our Lunch and Learns, our History Speaks, and our special events and projects. We start with our National Heritage Month talks. These would occur on the first Thursday of every month. There's reason to celebrate the diversity of our area because so many great people from so many backgrounds are here, including what's listed here: Black history, women's history, Native American heritage. Most people don't realize that a number of the early pioneers were Scottish. Scottish festivals are still celebrated yearly here in this area. And our own town of Mount Dora was voted one of the safest places in the country for members of the LGBTQ community. Held on the second Wednesday of every month, our Genealogy Symposium is hosted in partnership with the Pathfinders of South Lake County Genealogical Society. Genealogists are one of the top users of archives, and it's a very popular hobby, so it's vital that we cater to that demographic. Symposium topics include research tips and tricks, DNA and genealogy, African American genealogy, overcoming hurdles, skeletons in the closet, court and police records, pension files, a treasure trove, hot off the press, newspapers and genealogy, and so many more. In the article To Suddenly Discover Yourself Existing by Michelle Caswell and others, they state the research found that community archives have wide-ranging impacts in several areas, such as the development of skills in volunteers, the preservation of narratives not found in mainstream institutions, and the promotion of community pride, citizenship empowerment, and social inclusion. Besides the records having informational value, they also demonstrate evidence of actions taken. It is this reasoning why I want the topic of our Lunch and Learns to be on local trailblazers and icons, frontiers people, those who made a difference, and those who pushed boundaries. The purpose of these talks is to share the extraordinary stories of community members, to educate, but more importantly, to inspire. History Speaks is on the fourth Friday of every month. Historians, both professional and hobbyist, are another demographic that use archives, and again, it's important that we cater to them as well. We have a really good lineup of talks next year and a number of great presenters, including historian Richard Cronin, Associate Professor Daniel Murphy, who specializes in Florida and Native American history, Professor Kibibi Mac Shelton, who specializes in African American history and Southern history, environmental conservationist David Carr, his Stuart Dunaway, and genetic genealogist C.C. Moore. Special events and projects. Preserving Your Family Record is designed as a workshop with different stations where our community members can learn how to preserve and protect the precious family records and photographs. Each station will have a presenter and demonstrate best practices. This will be presented biannually and hosted in partnership with the Pathfinders of Lake County Genealogical Society. Stations include digitization, storage, display and proper handling, and Ask a Genealogist. Ask a Genealogist is a Q&A station where patrons can ask questions concerning any genealogical topic, including research tips, where to find information, etc. One of my personal favorites, Seminole History is Seminole Now. It's a celebration and exploration of Seminole culture, including customs, traditions, language, history, and current and future outlook. It's in collaboration with the Seminole Tribe of Florida. They're the last remaining Native American tribe in Florida and the only tribe in the country to never sign a peace treaty. This will be funded through local sponsorship and grant funding as well. One thing I don't see a lot of here in Florida is an appreciation for the Native culture, and it's easy to forget that they are here. I would like in the future, hopefully this has become a yearly event, and maybe even a weekend event. Another special event we plan on doing is called Diverse Palate, Exploring Local Cuisine. It focuses on the diverse cultures of the area through a common language, food, because who doesn't love food? A curated selection of local cuisine designed around the history of that culture as it relates to the area. It would be supported by local businesses. Another project that's near and dear to me is our Oral History Project, with 5 sub-projects. The Veterans Project, the Community Memories Project, the Founding Families Project, the Black Experience, and then the Hispanic Experience. This is perfect for community involvement. The cost would be $207.07 for the camera and equipment. Video editing apps are free. The videos will be posted to our YouTube channel and promoted through our social media accounts. The Student Forum series is in collaboration with local schools. The content of these forums is based on the current curriculum and would be held here in the History Center's conference room. Materials from our collections that relate to the subject will be present during the forum. This is a chance for students to step away from the history book and to critically think and have discussions about historical events. Our entrance walls are white and are begging to be painted with a mural. Our grant-funded collaboration with a local muralist to paint the entrance walls of the History Center is just what we need. It would be a call for submissions where the community would vote for the best design via Facebook and Instagram. The subject of the murals would be locally themed and would aim to include local figures and places. Let's make the entry into our History Center amazing. Our yearly budget of $2,000 goes rather quickly, with the majority going to our lunch and learns, which is why we have a small fee to try and recoup some of what we spent. Depending on the time of year, the L&Ls could be hosted outside, and local food trucks could be invited so we wouldn't have to cater the event. I placed this slide after the budget plan because I want to plant an idea, an aspirational goal. Tasting History, a fundraiser. In partnership with the restaurant 1921 Mount Dora and their executive chef Brenton Hillman, it would be a tasting menu with a modern take on the history of Florida cuisine. Drawing on inspiration from Seminole, frontier, and traditional Floridian recipes with an emphasis on local ingredients. It would be $2.50 a plate, and the venue would be our own grand lobby. This would be an opportunity for local leaders to gather and celebrate our role in the community. Business leaders, local politicians, mayors, council people, and other pillars would be invited. This would give us a chance to basically work the room, which could lead to donations and possible endowments. We could also get the local press involved to really publicize the event. My team and I can plan the event, but it would take all of us to make it happen. The expense of this is beyond my budget, which is why I'm proposing this as an idea to be considered. I think the relationships that will be built makes this event worth serious consideration. Next year promises to be filled with talks and events, with topics to pique everyone's interest. My team and I are excited to take part, and we hope you are as well. Thank you for taking the time to view this presentation.